if we do some changes in the file, so before committing the changes, if I do a git stash, the changes that we did on the file will be taken backup, and after taken a backup, then the changes will be undone. Okay, the changes will be undo. Then in later stages, okay, here if you want to retain those changes that we made, then we can go into the backup list. So here the backup list can be found out by using git stash list. So in that backup list, what we can do, so we can look into the backup list, and based upon that backup list, we can restore the changes. Yesterday we have discussed about this concept. Okay, let me consider the file by name f1. Okay, the content of file f1 is now we have line 1. So let you add a new line here to this file. Echo. Let me add a stash line. Let me make stash line. Okay, stash line greater than file 1. Okay, so we have a line added into the file. So if you now get the status of the file, now we can find the file status is found to be modified. So without going into adding the file into staging area and taking the backup there, what I can do? So I can make a backup by using a git stash command. The git stash command is used to take a backup, and after taking a backup, what happens here is, okay, here the content of the modification that we made on the file f1 will be removed. Okay, now we take a backup. Now we can find a backup ID has been created, B85500. So this backup ID has been created. So if I get the status of the file, git status, now you can find the file is not in the modified status. So initially, before getting this git stash, now if you get the status of the file, or the file was in modified state, after issuing the git stash, what happened here? The file has been taken a backup, and this is the corresponding backup ID. The backup ID has been created, and what are all the changes that we made on the file will be removed here. Okay, so if you go into the file and if you make a check, then the new line that we have added won't be present here. The new line added here to the file f1, that it is won't present here. Let me make a check here by typing cat f1. Now we can find you have only one line. Okay, so here if you want to find out where the backup is, now the command is git stash list. Git stash list will list you the backup information. Here it will be stored in form of array. Now we can find stash as 0. Okay, so this is the backup ID on the master, and then here the this stash information contains the following thing. Okay, so let me add another thing. Let me add another change. Echo. So stash line 2. Let me add another line to the file. Stash line 2 greater than f1. Okay. Now once again, if you get the git status, now we can find the file 1 found to be modified. Added a new line. So what we do regularly, we will give a git add command, file name. It will take you to the staging area, and after that we issue a commit. Here instead of that, just issue a git stash. Okay, the git stash will do the needed thing. What we are going to do with git add and git commit. Okay, git stash will take a backup, and after taking a backup, what are all the content that is made on the file will be removed. Now if you get this git stash list, okay, now you can find initially in git stash list, since we did only one changes, that was stored in array, a stash array with the index value 0. Okay, now if you find the git stash list, you can find two indexes. One is stash 0 and second one is stash 1. These are all the two indexes. If you once again look into the file f1, cat f1, the file contains only one line, line 1. Why? The initial changes has been revoked here after taking a backup. Okay, so how you can recover this thing? So based upon this ID, because we have this ID, based upon this ID and based upon this index value. Okay, so here we found that this is the idea what this I need to retain this line. Okay, Now what happened here is a stash index will be created, and we have this index value 0, 1, 2. The latest change will be at the top. Okay, it is similar to that of queue, first in, first out. The change that we made long ago will be stored in the last column of the corresponding array. So since we have only two changes, what we did here, we have a stash one, stash, and we have a stash line 2. These are all the two things that we made on the file F1. Okay, those things will be stored here in this format. If we add another thing, then this will be pushed down. Okay, by the way, in the array, it will similar to that of first in, first out. But the change that we made first will be in the last array. The change that we did recently is in the index position 0. So I want to retain all these things. How I can retain these things? So what I need to do, the latest backup here, this one corresponds to, if I want to retain up to this, or if I want to retain up to this, I need to specify this array index value. Based upon this array index value, what I can do, I can able to restore what I did here. Okay, so let I do the restore here. Here, since the cat F1 containing line 1, now let I try to restore up to first initially the stash value 0. We have in this stash list 2. Okay, the latest update in 0 index, and the previous update that was in index value 1. Okay, so what I am going to do now, git stash, the command is git stash. I need to apply here both the stash IDs are same, but the index value differs. If we do a stash to another file, the value differs. Ramanathan, we can recover based upon the index value. What are all the changes that we made? It will be in the following index. Git stash, let me apply this. Now I am going to apply the index value. Stash array value at, for example, I am going to get the latest change. Okay, the index value that I need to give is 1. Stash at index value 1. Okay, what I did here, initially I did 2 changes in the file F1. One change is the file F1 containing line 1. After that, I think so I had added a new line stash. I added another line stash line 2. Okay, this is the latest change. Here, this is stored in the index value 0. This corresponds to index value 1. What I am going to do, I am going to retain the file. If I now cat F1 containing only 1, so it will be taken these two things as a separate backup. It will be taken these three things as a separate backup. Okay, I am going to restore up to this point. So git stash apply the index value. If I apply the index value up to this point, it will be restored up to this. Okay, so let us check this. What happened here? Git stash index value at 1. Now you can find, you can get the file, the old value. Okay, modified file F1. Okay, if you get this, what happened here? If you specify the git status will show the file F1 is modified. Then after that you can add it. If you can add it, and you can if you are commit. Okay, you can commit -m stash line add to F1. That's all. Okay, so now if you get the cat F1, now we can find the stash line has been overwritten. What we did here is here we in this cat, the stash line has been overwritten. Okay, so if you use a double cat double greater than, then it will be appended. Now if I want to get this once again, okay, if I want to get this, the second thing that I apply, git stash apply stash 0. Now we can find stash line 2. Okay, so now we can find cat F1. Okay, you can find the cat F1 here. The same file found to be containing the stash line. So since we have already discussed about this merge conflict, you want to open a file and you want to, if you want to retain both the lines cat F1 vi F1, then you want to do the change manually. Okay, if you want to retain both the lines, then you want to save it. That's all. Okay, this is the way by which you can issue a git stash escape colon wq. Yes, now cat f1 will list you both the things, stash line and stash line. Okay, so this is the way by which you can able to recover up to the changes that you made based upon the stash list. Okay, once it is recovered, if you don't want that, what you can do? You can clear by using git stash clear. Git stash clear is used to clear the stash list. It will completely clear all the stash. If you specify git stash list, now the git stash list will contain nothing here. Everything will be cleared here. Okay, there won't be any git stash list. This is the way by using this git stash you can able to get this thing. Also you can do this using another command by using this instead of this stack id. Okay, you can use a command. If you do a change and if the change is not committed, that is the key thing. You do open a file and do some modifications on those files. So without add and without this git commit, if you have performed this, you can't do anything. Okay, for that we have a separate way of recovering. So if you have did a change and that change is not committed in sense, you can revert the uncommitted changes. The key thing is that you can revert the uncommitted changes to the file. What happened initially, the file will be in your local workspace, and after that the file will be in your staging area. After that the file will be in your local repository. Okay, the file changes will be done here only. Okay, if you want to recover from the change, what you need to do, simply you reset the file. Okay, git reset, the command is git reset, the name of the file. Those changes that you did will be recovered from the file. Okay, so if you do a change, for example, let me open a file and do a change. Here there are three types of reset. So what are all the three types of reset? We have discussed these three types of reset. So one is a soft reset, the second one is a mixed reset, and the third one is a hard reset. Okay, the option you want to give with this reset, git reset hyphen soft. Similarly, you can give the git reset hyphen mixer and hyphen hard. What are all the differences between these three options? If it is a soft reset, the changes that we did will be undone from the repository, that is your local repository, from your workspace. Okay, so here you have your content in your workspace, you have your content in your staging area, you have your content in the local repository. Here, if you issue a soft, what are all the changes that you did will be having a copy in all the three things. Okay, if it will remove the copy from this local repository if it is a soft. If it is a mixed reset, the content that it is maintained here as a backup, okay, incremental backup in the staging area as well as in the local repository will be removed, but it will be retained in the workspace. So if you want to remove all those things in workspace, in staging area, and in your local repository you want to issue this hard reset. The hard reset completely clears the change that you did. It will completely undo the change in all the location where it is maintaining in your local work directory. Here workspace refer to the local work directory, the staging area and the local repository. So this is the way, but the thing is that uncommitted changes, that is the key thing. Okay, if you don't do any commit, then in this case it can be recovered. You may have in this area, you may have in this area. So, but if you have got committed, then it won't applicable. What happened here? So the committed changes need to be recovered using some another command. That is the command that we are going to discuss now. What are all the committed changes that we can able to recover? Just to make a note, an uncommitted change can be recovered using this git reset. Okay, so to undo a commit, the command is git revert commit ID for each and every commit. Okay, there will be a commit ID. By using this commit ID, git revert, if you specify the commit ID, that changes will be get back. Okay, so after we did a commit, we realized that the change that we did is not good. We need to undo the changes. Then here how you can undo these changes? So this is by specifying the commit ID. Okay, let me do some modification on a file and make a commit. This commit will have some commit ID, and laterly we do some additional modification on the file, and we have a new commit ID for each and every change that we made on a file. A new commit ID will be created. Let me make commit ID 1, commit ID 2. So similarly, you have 3 commit IDs. So I feel that the change that I did up to this commit ID 2, commit ID 1 and commit ID 2 need to be retained, and this thing need to be cancelled. In this case, I need to specify git revert this commit ID 2. So up to that commit ID, what are all the changes that we made will be retained, and after that changes will be neglected. This is the way by which you can make use of this git revert commit ID to do the thing. Let me do this practically. Okay. So let me open a file, the same file F1, and do the changes in this file. Now you have this cat F1 file containing stash line and stash line 2. Okay, let me open this cat F2 file, a new file. Okay, does not contain anything. Let me add a echo. So line 1 to the file. Okay, F2 cat F2. Now you have a line 1 into the file. Okay, what I am going to do, so I am going to get this status. Now file is found to be in modified. Okay, let I add this file, git add dot git commit -m line 1 added to file F2. Now the file is committed. Okay, so git log -, one line. Now we can find the commit ID. Okay, the line 1 added to the file, and you got the commit ID. Okay, the initial commit is the stash line added to the file, that is here. So you have this file F2 containing one commit ID. Okay, now the content of the file cat F2, you can find the line 1, that is update. If you want to do a undo, what I need to do here, I need to use this commit ID to revert this. Okay, so here what happened here is, if I uses this commit ID to revert, that thing will also create a new commit ID. Just listen here, we have the commit ID up to this line added to F1. Okay, now I am going to make use of a revert command, git revert the commit ID. I need to specify the commit ID. So up to this I am going to revert, copy, paste. So what happened? Cannot span email, no such file or directory. So here this is, I want to set this email. Huh? Let me check, please wait. Continue, no commit, hyphen. Yeah, it is reverted. Okay, now we can find here. It is reverted here. Here initially we have opened a file F2. That file was found to be modified. We had added a line in the file. Okay, so here if I get this git status, now we can find the file F2 was found to be modified. Okay, after that what I did, okay, here the line added to the file. So this is the commit ID that I got by using git log 19. Using this commit ID, so here you can find initially the cat F2 containing the line 1. So after reverting based upon this commit ID, so now we can find the cat F2, the file was found to be free. The commit that we made has been reverted. If you get this git log hyphen online, now you can find here the line added to F2. This is the last thing that we have committed. Cat F2 will result in a empty thing. Okay, so this is the way by using this git revert, I can able to get revert up to a particular point. Okay. Let me do some additional changes and check it now. Echo line 1 double greater than the same file 2. Let I add this git add dot git commit hyphen n line 1 order to F2 cat F2. Now you have online. Okay, echo line 2 greater than F2. Okay, now you can find cat F2. You have line 1 and line 2. So git add dot git commit hyphen m line 2 added to F2. Now you have two commits, git log hyphen 1. Now you have these two commits. Okay, so line 1 added to F2, line 2 added to F2. Okay, now I want to retain up to this. Okay, what I need to do now, let I check git F2. If I retain up to this, what happened? Okay, this line 1 added to F2, the line 1 need to be present here. So git reverse, let us specify the commit ID. Copy, paste. Okay, okay. So if I type now cat F2, now you have both. So what I need to do, a commit message hyphen line 2 reverted. Okay, now if I type this cat F2, what happened here? Git revert hyphen m reverted. No commit edit sign off the main line. Okay, just make a note. I will check it and let you know. So git revert is the command. I will check with these options and I will let you know. Little bit issues error. it is not supporting. No, the git revert, this is the commit ID. No, I will check it and let you know. No issue, please. Okay. Just the command, you just make a note of this command. Git revert is the command. So let me check what options additionally that we need to. So usually git revert the commit ID works with. I think so. Here we want to set the error that it is throwing is. It won't work with this Emac editor. We need to set the Mac editor is not supporting. I think so. So your local changes should be overwritten by commit your changes or stash stuff. Okay. So here, what is the reason behind that is, here we have not, we have did a change. I think so we have not committed it. So let me issue a git status here. You can find a file status was found to be in a modified file. Okay. So you want to add it, git add dot and git commit. Unmodified file cannot be reverted. Git file f1. Okay. So some change. Now git status was found to be up to date. Now let me check now git revert. Okay, git log hyphen online. Okay, now you have this line 2 added to f2, line 1 added to f1. Okay, cat f2 git revert the id. Okay, up to this that I need to revert. I need only line 1. Copy, right click, paste. But you can find the line 1 has been removed here. Initially we have this cat f2 with line 1 and line 2. So what I did, so here I had issued this commit ID where I have added the line 2 added to f2. That thing has been reverted back. The line 1 alone that we present. Okay, this is the way by which initially what did is, it again so it is asking to uh, change this default Emac editor. Okay, it support I think so VI or VIM editor. We need to set this editor, but it is working fine here in this case. Let me once again let me revert back to the old commit ID. Let me check here too. Now line 1 is added. Let me use this commit ID. Okay, so up to 60, copy. After reverted, you want to commit, I think so. So git add dot git commit reverted. Okay, here cat f2 containing line 1. Now let me git revert. So here line 1 is added to f2. Let me take this. Okay, let me check whether we can able to recover until this. Copy the commit ID. Now after that, git add dot git commit -m reverted f1. So you can find cat f1 or f2. Yeah, cat f2. Okay, still it is that. Okay, so let me do this. Let I try this. And I will let you know tomorrow. No issue, please make a note. Sometimes it is working, sometimes it is not working. So I need to check it. Please, you please make a note of this command. Okay, git revert is the command. Based upon the commit ID, we can revert back. Okay, so to remove a file, the command, if I want to remove a file here in Git, you can simply issue this rm command to remove a file. You have file F1, you can remove a file F1 by using Git rm command. The file will be removed. Okay, so if you want to remove any file, you can issue this command git rm. Okay, if you want to remove this star.java, all the files of Java, now it will be removed. Okay, rm is the command. Now it is used to remove the content of the file. Okay, so all files deleted. Okay, so these are all the ways by which you can remove a file. So here, to delete all the runtime files. Okay, so for example, so here we have initially discussed about this folder in our yesterday .git ignore folder. In this git ignore folder, if I want to ignore file, if I issue this git add command, or if I issue this git commit command, if I need to, for example, I have one.java file. While compile, I get this one.class file. Okay, and laterly after that, this class has been bundled. I have one.java, I have two.java, up to I have multiple files, and all these things has been compiled, and it will be jarred as a single file. So I no need to have these compiled class files. Okay, while I am adding these changes by using git add or git commit, I need to neglect those class files, or I need to neglect certain files instance. I want to create a .ignore folder. I saw .ignore file, and in that file I need to place what are all the files that I need to ignore. That thing that we have discussed in our yesterday's session. Similarly, what you can do to delete all the unnecessary runtime files. Okay, that is if you file is untracked. Okay, if you want to remove those files from your workspace, what you need to do? Git clean command. So git clean command that it will remove all the untracked file. Please make a note to remove all the untracked file. Git clean. It will list you -n. What are all the files that is untracked? It will list all those files. Okay, if you want to remove a file, all git clean. The option is okay -f. You want to specify the file name. Okay, so here it will remove all the untracked file. So we will discuss this git clean and git revert tomorrow practically. So now we are going to discuss about this tagging of the file. So if we issue a git log -online, what are all the changes that we made? Will be represented in this commit ID. Okay, if the commit ID is a lengthy ID. Okay, if we type git log and commit ID is a 40 character ID. So you couldn't able to remember that commit ID. What you can do? You can set a alias name. You can set a label or tag name to the commit ID to uniquely identify the commit ID using a appropriate name. You can add a tag to the commit ID. Okay, how you can add a tag to the commit ID? For that you use a git tag. So git tag is used to add a tag to the commit ID. Okay, the syntax is git tag. You want to specify the option -a. Okay, so here you want to specify the pattern of your commit. For example, it is a release -1.0. Then here -m the command. Okay, so git tag -a the pattern -n commit. Please make it. Here you can make it